Welcome to Bonds After Baby. I'm LMFT Evie Empress, and I'm here to help you and your family relationships experience more relief and connection during the stage of pregnancy, postpartum, and early parenthood. In today's episode, we're back with therapist and Resilient Returns founder MJ Harford Yost, helping with the transition back to work after baby with specific concrete tips to make it easier, focusing on how partners can help each other with these transitions. So MJ is a therapist, mom, and founder of Resilient Returns, which is an HR tech company that supports working parents and organizations through very innovative parental leave management. She uses a combination of expertise in mental health, entrepreneurship, and real lived experience as a mom of two young daughters who gets it, to have conversations about life that can combine and prioritize showing up as you want as a parent with maintaining a sustainable and meaningful career. Welcome back, MJ. Thank you.
Thanks for having me. I'm so glad to keep talking about this.
Yes,
It's
me
so
too.
great.
We could talk forever, couldn't we?
Yeah,
About all this
sure
stuff.
could.
Yeah. So this is the second part of the series, and the previous episode, if you haven't listened, you need to listen to that one first, which lays the foundation for the emotional attunement you're going to need working on the same side with your partner through this, feeling safe to have these conversations, feeling comfortable having these conversations, excuse me. And now we're getting into the really specific strategic tips. So once you have that foundation, all of this kind of strategy goes smoother, right? Yeah.
100%.
Yeah. Okay. So let's go for it.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah. One of the main points you shared with me, MJ, was
Yes.
making the invisible visible. Yeah.
Yes.
Tell us more about that.
Yeah, so once you have that shared foundation in terms of your own emotional attunement, you're connecting to yourself, your experience going back to work, your partner is developing some emotional awareness, and the two of you are consciously practicing that emotional connection. We want to then start talking about how are we dividing labor within the home and how are we setting up systems that function for this specific season of life.
Yeah.
And that begins with making all the invisible labor we do as parents, as partners, visible.
Yeah.
When our labor, cognitive, right, what we do mentally, who's keeping track of the birthdays, the doctor's appointments, what time the baby last ate, the emotional labor, who's the go-to point person for regulating the baby, regulating each other.
Yeah.
The physical labor, who's doing a lot of the manual caregiving. If you're breastfeeding, right, that's physical labor. A lot of that can go unseen, both by ourselves and our partners.
Yep.
And when that stays invisible, it's easy to ascribe roles like someone is the hero of a story and someone's the villain.
Yeah.
And we really want to make this a shared story, right,
Yeah.
that we're going back together and avoiding those very black and white roles and those very black and white explanations or those very black and white descriptions of one another.
Yes. Yeah. And I don't know about you, but I actually find the invisible labor more exhausting. Do you?
1,000%.
Yeah. Yeah.
By far and away.
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah. Because like getting dinner on the table, I don't know, for some reason that's like different than I have to hold all these details in my mind and make sure everybody remembers this and that, because your mind can't rest.
No. And dinner is a perfect example, actually. And this is one of the first basic ones we attack in terms of the Resilient Returns courses. And what I do with my clients is we say, well, getting dinner on the table, very binary. I cook it, I put it down. But what it requires behind that task, it's who's keeping track of what we have in our pantry? How much cumin do we have left?
Yeah.
Well, what produce do we have in the fridge? What meal are we going to make? When do we buy the groceries? Who keeps track of the grocery budget? It is like the tip of an iceberg.
Exactly.
And sometimes our partners see, well, making dinner is great. It's like time away from the kids, kind of. You can pop in a podcast. But if we don't explain, well, to get this dish on the table, it required all of this labor behind it. We can start to build up a lot of resentment and inequity.
Yep, absolutely. I remember at one time, actually, when I was going back to work, my husband was like, "You are on your phone so much," and I just blew up. I'm not proud
Burn
of
them
it.
to the ground.
Yeah, I blew up. I was like, "Do you think I'm just like chilling on my phone?
I'm on TikTok.
I'm not ignoring you. I'm doing all the grocery shopping lists and like strategizing." And he was like, "Okay."
Yes.
And then, again, like we said in last episode, that's a sign that something's not getting addressed.
Yes.
Right.
It's
we have
not
to
necessarily.
be able to, yeah. So like, how do you make the invisible visible? Is it like having spreadsheets? Like, what do you recommend?
Yep. So it starts with first cataloging. Either to yourself or in shared conversation with your partner. I often recommend, I work mostly with women, that we do it alone first. We take couple minutes, sometimes
Yeah.
half an hour, and say, what am I doing in a given 24-hour time period? And when you're a mom, it's literally 24 hours. Even when you're asleep, you are on deck. Like, am I getting up to soothe the baby after they had, a nightmare? If you have an older child, am I getting up still to feed a baby overnight? Like, clock in the whole 24 hours.
Yeah.
And then ask yourself, these are some of the tasks I'm accomplishing. What makes those tasks possible? That's how we can start to identify some of that invisible labor.
Right.
And then we come together with our partner and we say, here's what I'm doing. We ask our partner, can you identify what you're doing? And let's look at our columns. Where do we see balance? Where do we see purpose? And where do we see strain, or where do we see resentment?
Mm-hmm.
And you can do that with your own spreadsheet. Eve Rodsky, who came up with the fair play method, has a deck of cards that can be really fun to use. I often recommend that with partners. It's everything from like
great to make it playful too, because it takes the edge off.
And sometimes it's great because you can see, right, what often happens is one person's pile is pretty big. Mm-hmm. You can look at it and be like, this is a physical representation
exactly.
of what's happening here. And sometimes, right, we'll talk more about automate, delegate, and eliminate in a minute, but sometimes we look at our own pile before we bring it to our partners and we might say, I don't care about half this stuff. Yeah. Why am I doing this?
What can we take out? Yeah.
Yes. Or I'm doing this because I think I have to, or for image sake. Like I feel like my kids I have to fold all my kids' clothes in their drawers. And it's like, who's looking in those? Why? Who cares? The pajamas should not be folded in this season of life. No elf is coming behind you.
Do you not fold the clothes? I have to.
No. That's your homework. We're going to send it to listeners and we're going to send it to you. Okay, well, if you like it, that's different.
I know, it calms me. So that's
okay, if it's meditative, do it. My role, I own laundry in my household. My job is that the laundry is clean and where it needs to be. Yeah. It being folded, whatever, that I have said that's not part of my job.
Yeah.
It just needs to be accessible to you.
Even identifying like which chores bring you joy too. Cause like my husband was doing some stuff that I love doing and he was like, oh, you like doing this? And I was like, yeah. So even like what we really enjoy, and it's okay to not enjoy some things.
Yes. There's no
trade-off.
No, it's like there's no moral, especially for women. I think there feels like there's a moral expectation. Well, I need to like the cooking the dinner, or I need to like having their little drawers all cute and beautiful.
Yeah.
You might not care about that. That doesn't make you less of a loving mom. That doesn't make you less of anything. It just means that that's not in your value set, which is why it's so important before you set up these systems to talk about your values. Exactly. What do I care about?
Yeah. And it's okay to disagree. And then you're not going to agree on everything. And then you're just going to have to prioritize. Then it's like navigating it.
1000%. I think that's
what's essential and what's not.
Yes. Well, maybe we should jump ahead to that. I think of that. That goes really well with this idea of eliminate. We talk about in Resilient Returns in my practice, once you make the invisible labor visible, we need to go through 3 categories. We need to start automating where we can. We need to delegate well, and we need to eliminate. Yeah. Again, it doesn't have to be for forever. Yeah. But we do need to be ruthless in our prioritization.
Yeah. Even if it's temporary, because can we just all acknowledge it's survival mode usually around this time? Okay. Yeah. So that's another thing to just agree upon. Hey, we're in a survival mode. Things are harder now. What can we eliminate? Doesn't mean we have to eliminate it forever. Because people might hold on to things because they're afraid. Oh, if we let go of this now, we're never going to be doing this.
We're never going to get it back. Right. Yeah, whether that's maybe we're in a great date night routine and you were able to go every week. We might need to bump that and say, what's every month look like? That doesn't mean we don't value our marriage. It doesn't mean that we don't value each other.
So freaking tired.
Yeah, it might mean we need that extra 4 hours of sleep on a weekend, on a Friday night or Saturday night. We're going to trade that in temporarily.
Yeah. And guess what? Cuddling and going to sleep early with like a little nuzzle might actually be feeling that connection more than being exhausted at a table, going out and wishing you were in the bed.
1000%.
Being flexible around all what this looks like. Yeah.
I think that's true for feeding too. I talk about that a lot with moms, and I bet you do too. There's a lot of, I think, important cultural conversation around nutritious diet, what it means to feed yourself and your children well. But I think that can be taken to an extreme that can set up a lot of shame and judgment.
Yes.
That happens in my own house. I really had to get real with myself of what does it mean to be doing all the baby-led weaning, doing all these things myself when I go back to work. Let's reset. Yeah. Now I feed my kids dinner at 4 p.m. and it's a rotation of 5 things I know they'll eat. Yeah. I am not, right? My kids can eat the diversity of flavor on our weekends or when we're
Yes.
out as a family.
Yes.
Setting that expectation every day, I need to be making a shared family meal that we all eat at the same time, was causing so much more
Yes.
distress.
Yeah.
Now we get to play and have fun. They eat when they wake up from their nap. We enjoy each other. My husband and I can eat
Yeah.
later. It's great.
But that's the thing too, is that when we let go of things having to be such a specific way and we can get flexible, well, guess what
Yeah.
that brings to us and our families? We're more relaxed. We're
Yep.
actually modeling flexibility, which is
Yes.
healthier than being rigid about things.
Yes.
Okay. Because we idealize, it makes us feel like, oh, we're going to be a good mom if
Yeah.
such and such. Well, that's going to take you down a dark road through
Oh,
motherhood if you
yes.
stick to that, right?
Yes.
And I'm laughing, but I mean, it's true.
It
Like
can come
it's,
for you faster than you
yeah,
think.
absolutely. Definitely happened to me my first time around with my
Totally.
child. Yeah. And like there's more freedom for playfulness, as you mentioned, for ease, for peace. And
Yes.
isn't that more important,
Yes.
right? What's actually important for the
Yes.
climate of your home?
Oh, I love that expression. I steal
Yeah.
that. I love that, the
Yeah.
climate of your home.
Yeah.
'Cause that's really what we want, is how do I feel when I come back from work, whether it's opening the door to my home office or my
Yeah.
husband stepping in the door from being away? What's the energy we want to feel in our home? If we
Yep.
feel mounting pressure of now I'm staring at a to-do list a mile long,
Yep.
that is not going to bring peace or calm or connection to us or our kids.
No.
And if we're doing that because of some external expectation, it is just not setting us up to
Yeah.
succeed.
Yeah, and as we talk about this, I want to be real with the moms and parents listening too and say, we can know that. I mean, like we're therapists and we know that, but I imagine you, just like me,
Yes.
MJ, have to remind ourselves of
Every
this.
day.
Like, yeah, as you were talking, I was like looking back to the way I've been on these snow days the past few days.
Yes.
Oh yeah, I need that reminder again. Like I need
Yes.
to let go of some stuff to
Yes.
have a little bit more playfulness and ease in the house day to day, because it
Yes.
doesn't have to look perfect and not everything has to get done.
No.
Yeah. So it's something that like it's not like you realize
It's a
it and
practice.
it's you're good. You're gonna
Yes.
go through phases continually where that
Yep.
gets hard again. You have to help yourself and help each other again
Yep.
to get back into a swing of
1,000%.
things.
But that's where that
Yeah.
emotional attunement, why we say you have to lay that groundwork first.
Yeah.
Because to figure out that this system isn't working anymore, whether what you eliminated isn't enough or that you might
Yeah.
need to eliminate something, we're going to miss the opportunity to detect that if we're not staying in connection with how we feel on the inside,
Right.
with our own stress level, with our own happiness
Exactly.
level. We have to be connected.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Beautiful.
So should we talk about the other two prongs? Automate,
Yes.
delegate?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
So eliminate, I think, is a great place to start because we love seeing that stack of cards. And in Resilient Returns, I can send the link to your listeners too. We have an automated version of this you can do digitally. And
Oh,
you have-
that's awesome.
yeah. And I,
Yeah.
full disclosure, my husband and I did it, and I thought,
Yeah.
oh my God, this is my job, my passion. Boy, my column's a lot longer than yours. Like, what do I need to do to snip this down?
Yeah.
But then we talk about looking at what can you automate,
Mhm.
what can you set and forget.
Yeah.
Right? A lot of tasks, especially the invisible labor in terms of cognitive labor, we're rethinking, we're relitigating the same decisions many times a day.
Yeah.
So this means, right, setting things as repeating calendar events. This means setting up a temporary or maybe permanent grocery subscription. What's the list you use every week?
Yes.
It's setting up a formula delivery if you're using formula instead of always being like, oh shoot, I got to go do a Target pickup.
Right. Yep.
These small things add up
Bill
over time.
payments, right? Automating.
Oh my God, automate all your bills.
Yes.
Automate as many touch points in your life as possible,
Yes.
not because you're lazy or because you don't care.
No, it saves time.
Yes, because your energy is a very precious resource.
Yeah.
And when energy is depleted, we need to be really careful with our energetic budget where we're going to spend it.
Yep. And actually within tighter budgets too, like we may not be able to have a housekeeper every other week or every month.
No.
Like maybe that's not affordable, but it might be affordable to
In a
do
short
the
term.
automatic, to do the grocery deliveries. Like there might be smaller budget items that actually are so helpful and
Yes.
take so much pressure off that they're worth it. And you have to
Totally.
navigate that.
And it doesn't even have to be financial automation, right? I have a system, right, where I'm doing laundry at the same time every other day.
Yeah.
I don't have to think, oh shoot, do we have enough
Exactly.
of this? What do I do? It's on my calendar.
Yes.
It will look crazy to people, but I have do laundry as a calendar event. If it's only in my mind, that is going to set me up to fail. I needed to live
It's also
somewhere.
tiresome to have to
Yes.
remember.
We
It
can't.
takes so much pressure off to say like that's my it's
This
on
is
the
where
I
this
don't have to
goes.
think about it. Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
100%. And we can
Yeah.
even automate things like Meals. Do we eat the same thing every Monday? Do we eat the same thing every Tuesday?
I do that and I love
Game
it.
changer.
I love it. It makes everything, makes grocery shopping easier.
Yep.
I don't think about it. It's awesome. Yeah.
Absolutely. And it can even,
Yeah.
we can automate, I could go down this rabbit hole forever. Automate
Yeah.
birthday cards, right? I buy the same five
Yeah.
birthday cards.
Yeah.
Men
Yeah.
and parents, mom and dad,
Yeah.
those all live in one spot. Everybody
Yeah.
gets the same birthday.
I've heard about like birthday gifts for when you go to parties. I've heard people like batch
Yes,
gifts. That's
yes,
so smart. So smart.
totally.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
You
love a
taught me
batch.
about batching for my business.
Yeah, batch it
And
up.
I'm like, I need to batch everywhere.
Yes, 1000%. Right.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah.
think the
Yeah.
house cleaner is a great example. We might not
Yeah.
have it in our budget to have a bi-weekly or a monthly housekeeper, but can we automate when that house cleaning happens and who
Yep.
does what? And can that
Yes.
live in a calendar as opposed to one parent's brain?
Exactly. Yeah. And it doesn't have to be perfect. We're not talking about like a
No,
perfect.
we're not getting that vinegar oil mixture on our baseboards right now.
No, no. I have actually a friend who comes over. We do play dates with our 2-year-olds. And she comes over and I'm like, in the beginning when she would come over, I would like apologize. I'm so sorry the house is, and she was like, stop. Apologize. Your
Yeah.
house is fine. Why are we even feeling
Um,
like we have to apologize
yes. Well,
to
it's that
another mom who gets it too, you know? It's so silly.
totally.
It's automatic. I mean, I talk about this all day and what am
Yep.
I doing, you know, in my home?
Yes, but it's such
Things
a
are
radical
just,
act to say, can
yeah,
I
yeah.
withhold myself from
Mhm.
trying to make my three main rooms look like a home and garden magazine when my office is then jammed full of stuff? Like,
Yeah,
let's live authentically in this
I
season and
know.
just embrace
This
it.
season, I know.
And
Yeah.
you don't get a gold star for having a really clean kitchen. You don't. You get a
No.
gold star for having some inner peace, right? Again, if it brings you
Yeah,
peace and calm, that's a
yeah.
separate,
It does. I totally,
wonderful.
yeah.
Prioritize it, but
Yeah,
do
but
it from a space of self-compassion as opposed to self-punishment.
yeah, and even if it does bring you peace, sometimes a day is just so hard. It's better. It is actually going to be
Yes.
better just not to do some stuff and
Yeah,
let go.
find your, well, that's
Yeah,
actually a perfect segue to
yeah,
talking about
yeah.
delegating. Because what we
Perfect.
teach
Yeah.
parents is you need to do a total responsibility transfer. One, if
Mhm.
you own the task, you own it end to end,
Yep.
and you need to set a shared minimum standard.
Yeah.
Right? If what we're talking about, kitchen's a perfect one. What's the
Yeah.
minimum standard of if we are running at a 5% energy,
Yeah.
what can we do to go to bed at night and wake up the next morning and feel okay? Feel like our partner did right by us and our family if they own kitchen? Is it that every dish needs to be put away, all counters need to be wiped, trash needs to be taken out? Or
Yeah.
is there a different minimum standard? Is it just dishwashers running, things are generally put away, right? Like
Yep.
let's
Yep.
really define
Get
what it
specific.
means.
Otherwise, yeah, that's going to leave it vulnerable for, oh, and you didn't
Yes.
do it, and
Yeah,
you,
you own this, but you're not doing it right, or you don't
yeah,
respect me because you're not wiping down the counters.
yeah,
Argument heard many times in my own
yeah,
home, right?
yeah,
Until we
sure.
say, to
Just be
me, the
specific.
minimum is this.
Yeah.
Can
Yes.
we
Yeah.
agree to this?
Yeah. And also, look, I'm sure you hear this a lot too. When you do give over a task, but it's not done the same way you would do it, because
Uh-huh.
I mean, wiping counters is one thing, but you know, there's also other things with
Yep,
more nuance, right? Like
correct.
handling parent-teacher
Childcare.
meetings.
Yes. Oh, I
Yeah,
love that
childcare,
one.
right. Yeah.
Any childcare interaction
Yeah,
is a
yeah, it's
great one.
nuanced. It's not the same thing as the dishwasher running. There's like,
Right.
did you ask that? You didn't ask this question. You know? And
Yes.
letting go of some of that. That is the other parent. Like, you know, I
Yes.
mean, they're going to do things differently.
It's that
And
best
unless something is
intention.
abusive or
Totally.
hostile,
So,
yeah, yeah,
yes, but is there a good intention at play? Do you have that shared expectation between the two of you that we're
yeah,
each going to try to do right by the other partner and right by
yeah,
our kids?
yeah,
If that's there, can we practice some psychological flexibility, some
yes,
emotional trust
yes,
to say, I think my partner did the best they could.
yep,
Can I allow that to be good enough?
yeah,
You might find you've got some perfectionist tendencies. I certainly have, right? I'm sure
yeah.
you
Oh,
have
I
too.
do.
Of
Yeah, I
like,
do.
ooh,
Yeah,
I'm holding myself to an impossible standard, and
yeah.
that's making me hold my partner to one too.
Yeah,
What can
absolutely.
we do about
Yeah.
this?
And it's not kind to ourselves or to our
Oh,
partners. It's not kind either way. It gets
no.
punitive.
Yeah, very
Um,
punishing.
yeah, and that's not a fun kind of
No,
atmosphere to be around at all, right?
no, it's definitely not.
No, no. Now the delegate fully, I want to go deeper into that because I
Yeah,
just want to make that explicit for our listeners. That means you don't have the mental load, right? Because,
correct.
right, that's the difference.
You
If you
relinquish it.
say, hey, I'm gonna let you know you do the laundry, and then the
Yeah,
partner's saying, well, remind me.
no.
That's exhausting to
And
have
it's
to
not real.
remember one more detail.
No,
No.
there's
Yeah.
no, the, well, in some marriages, I think like, right, that idea of a honey-do list is very popular. It works for a
Mhm.
lot of couples.
Yeah. And if it
Sure,
works, great.
this is not necessarily what we're talking about. We're talking
No.
about what makes your daily life function.
Hmm.
That needs to be explicit and it needs to be
Yeah.
consistent.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
one
Yeah.
partner is holding all of that in their mind,
Mhm.
that is not okay. And it's going to
Yeah.
set us up for a lot of unnecessary conflict. It's avoidable.
Yes. Yes, exactly. Yeah. Yep. Wonderful. And so automations, shared calendars,
Yep.
like whiteboard in the
Yeah,
kitchen,
let's talk about it.
tree.
The
Yeah.
systems. So, right,
Yeah.
we've got this make the invisible visible, automate, delegate, eliminate where you can. And then we want to pull that all together into setting up a functional system in your life. We want to move
Yes.
away from a task model. I'm checking tasks off a list into what are systems that support me to live a more functional life? What
Right.
are the things that bring me simplicity and ease in my day-to-day routine? And that might look like, where is our shared family brain? Does it live on a whiteboard on our fridge? How do
Yeah.
we know what's happening in our day to day, or is it digital?
Yeah.
Right? We want to set up a place where all of these things live.
Yeah.
I also talk to clients a lot about like a physical system, like a command station.
Hmm.
Where's the kid's daycare bag? Or where, if you have a nanny, where are all the supplies that she needs going to be located? Where's your
Yeah.
work bag?
Yeah.
What do you need to get out of your door? That should all live together in one place and not require you to go upstairs, downstairs to the garage.
Yeah.
Right? We want to make it both task based in terms of what do we need to follow,
Yeah.
and practical. What are the things that we need?
Yeah, yeah. I have a question for you actually with
Yeah.
something that we struggle with because we have systems in place that work and I'm maybe this will be helpful to our listeners
Yeah.
too. One thing we find difficult is the emails. So when we
No.
get emails about school, oh wait, they need gloves tomorrow. Oh wait, they
Yep.
need this or that, like
Hmm.
oh man, and they just keep coming. Like
Relentless.
yeah, they're relentless. Like even we have a lot of divided tasks. We actually do
Yeah.
what you're recommending, which is like
It's
we
cute.
divide and conquer, and then we don't have to
Yeah.
have all these conversations and reminders. It's much easier.
Yes.
But the emails are like,
Brutal.
yeah, they're brutal. And like if you don't check it, note it in that second,
Oh,
you're
it's
gonna
gone
forget it. It's gonna be at the bottom of your email inbox and it's
forever.
lost.
Yes.
So how do you
Yeah.
manage that and divide that? Do you have any ideas about
Yeah.
that? Yeah.
Do you have one partner who owns school communication?
No.
I think that might be
So
where
so that's what we divide.
it's literally one, and
Yeah. Who
that's
does
a
the
big
school
task. So
communication?
then
Yeah, it
we
is.
need to look at your list. If you're going to own it, we want to say,
Yeah.
does something need to go off of Evie's list?
Gotcha.
Because
Yeah.
you're going to check that at least once a
Yeah.
day, and
Oh,
you're going
once
to
a
have to.
day. They email.
I know. Well, my kids are younger than
Yeah,
your
I know.
older
I have an
daughter,
older
so
child, so that's what I mean. If you have a younger and an older too,
that age
like,
gap can be beautiful and also brings different complexity, I
yeah, it
think.
does. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Because you're in different school systems, different types of
Yes,
activities.
yeah,
But so
yeah,
it's one parent. The other parent literally does not have to read an email,
yeah.
but
So
they need
then
to take on other things. And then
yeah,
that email gets tied to a calendar event. So then I coach moms to say the second you get an email, you can run it through apps through your Gmail if you have it, or through WhatsApp, and then you drop it into a calendar event. And then you
gotcha.
set up the reminder.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I think you're right. Like we don't have that. We both check the school emails.
No, no.
Yeah, yeah. You're right. Yeah. Thank
That
you.
is chaos.
Yeah, it is because it's so.
And they're never condensed. You might get 3 in a day.
No. No, and it's like a 3-step thing. Sign up on here, then check this, then
Yep.
bring in the ingredients for this thing.
Uh-huh. Yes.
It's wild. Oh my goodness. They
Yep.
won't leave us alone.
No, that's the beauty of communicative childcare is a blessing. And sometimes,
It's a lot.
right, we live in a world that needs parents to work, but expects them not to, right? Expects them to live as if certainly not both parents are working,
Yeah, yeah,
let alone one. And
Yeah.
that's tough. The
Yeah,
system
yeah.
is not set up really for us to succeed, but
No.
we can make it more functional while we're in it.
Yes, yes. I know we both know we could talk to each other
Yeah.
forever about all this. I don't want to take up too much of your
Yeah.
time, MJ, but Do you have some time to share with our listeners a little bit more
Yeah,
about Resilient
sure.
Returns? Because it's an awesome platform.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Resilient
cool.
Returns is a software platform that helps manage the administrative burdens, the challenges, and the inconsistencies of parental leave. We have a business platform that helps manage parental leave from disclosure all the way through the return to work. And we have an integrated parent program. It's designed by me. I create all the content, right? I'm a licensed therapist. I know that these are really strong evidence-based approaches to make your going back to work experience help you feel like you're moving forward. Right, for all the listeners, I'll share a discount code so everyone can access this program for a significantly reduced fee, right? Our spirit is really to get this in the hands of as many parents as possible so
Yeah.
that they can go to back to work in a better way and really maximize the potential of this season. It's a tough one, but I
Yeah.
think what we talked about today, there are some really practical, approachable ways to make it more doable and possibly even bring some benefit to your life. Feel more clear in what it is that matters to you and more capable in terms of taking action towards those things.
Yeah, it's amazing what you've created. I know you have poured so much,
Yeah.
your mind, soul, and heart.
Oh,
And yeah, it's amazing. And that's what we do. Mothers like go into this
yeah,
field
we're gonna
and
work on it.
yeah, we're gonna work on it because we know what it's
Yeah,
like.
and we
And
want to
yeah,
pay it forward, right? Hard for
exactly.
us, but the spirit I think that's so beautiful about moms is that we don't want it to be as hard for the women behind us, right? Really to
Exactly.
say, how can we continue to pay this forward?
Yeah,
It's
that's
just so
beautifully
important to
said.
me. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, me too. Yeah, it's really an honor to have you as a guest
Oh, thank
here. I
you.
would love to have you back
Yeah,
again someday.
anytime.
Talked about so much.
Yes.
Thank you again. And I know this will be super helpful to our
Oh,
listeners and moms out there
thank you
and
so much.
couples.
And good luck
Sure.
for everyone going back.
Yeah. Okay.